Okay, thank you everyone for attending tonight's session. So while we're waiting for some other people who may join later, I'm going to start working on your individual request. So please tell me one goal or one challenge in your life that you're working through right now. So as usual, you can type it into the chat for me, or if you want to speak about it, you can too, so that I can start working, strengthening everyone. And as usual, there's some synergy for those of us who are attending on the same day, or for anyone who's watching this later. Sometimes you may resonate with the issue, the challenge, or sometimes you may resonate with the blockages that comes up. And whenever you're hearing it, you will get the strengthening. So yeah, please go ahead and type in, or you can unmute yourself and you can tell me one thing that you wanted me to work on for you tonight. Think about what's going on in your life right now. Think about the things that you feel like, oh my gosh, I need some help in that area. Or think about one goal that you have. And then we can work on deleting any weaknesses, and then we can strengthen anything, any factors that may support you. Okay, I'm going to work on the first one. You are experiencing frustration, pain at your right leg and spine, and kids are falling sick one by one recently. Okay, so of course, I think what I'm getting is that the first source of frustration is coming from the kids falling sick one by one. Okay, so that's really one of the major factor for the frustration. So I'm gonna look at kids falling sick. I'm gonna work on that, and then I'm gonna come back to your other challenges. So there's a lot of fear surrounding your younger one. It's actually external. So it's the fear that's around him that is actually affecting him. And the fear around him is creating a lot of stress around his shoulders. So deleting the stress around his shoulders, deleting the burden that he feels from other people without even knowing how and why it's coming to him. And as a result of that, you are also experiencing that frustration of bearing the burden of people around you. So I'm strengthening both of you to connect and disconnect strong with one another, connect and disconnect strong with other people, and connect and disconnect strong from your community, whatever that may mean for you. Strengthening any frustrations that's coming from not understanding why and how you can support them. Strengthening you to be okay with that. Somehow the word crisis comes up for him. I don't know why. Do we need to look at that? There's a spiritual crisis for him that's happening. So whatever that may mean for him, I'm strengthening him to his spiritual crisis. And I'm strengthening you as well, because mother and child, a lot of time we are all connected. So I'm strengthening you to allowing him to take on his own, spiritual lessons, his own spiritual pathway. And I'm strengthening you also to, being strong to just praying for him and allowing him to experience what he may need to go through without feeling that you are personally responsible. Yeah, so he's strong to his crisis, but you're not strong to it because you're like what's going on, and how can I help him? So I'm strengthening you strong on all counts, whether you can help, you cannot help, whether you know how to help, whether you do not know how to help. And then any crossover of emotions, I'm strengthening you to that. Not knowing, what his emotions are, that shouldn't energetically weaken you at all. So emotions, strengthening all of you, connect, disconnect from all the emotions, strengthening you to be strong to knowing and not knowing the emotions. Okay, going back to source of frustration for you, fear, there's a lot of fear. Deleting all the fear from the central nervous system and your peripheral nervous system. Deleting all the fear that's around your shoulder blades. There's a lot of thoughts that's affecting you, thoughts that you are aware of. So the thoughts that you're aware of is weakening you because you have the thoughts, but you don't know what to do with the thoughts. And you have no solutions for the thoughts. Or maybe you feel and you know that, oh, certain things are beyond your control. And therefore, when it's beyond your control, then it continues to haunt you, but it shouldn't, you shouldn't be, we needn't have to always feel like we are burdened by the things that we cannot control. So I'm strengthening you to that. Knowing and having the thought that it's beyond my control, it's beyond my help. There's nothing I can do about it. Thoughts like that shouldn't weaken us, right? It should free us up. It can free us up. So I'm deleting any pain on your right shoulder blade at the back, deleting all the strings of energies wherever they're coming from, deleting all sources of hooks of energies that's coming towards you. 3 of them, friends, family members, whoever they are, dissolving all the cords of strings of energies from them to you. Strengthening you to be strong to letting go of the need to take care of all of them, strengthening you to be strong to allowing them to take care of themselves, strengthening you to be strong to dissolving any dependencies on you, because when people are too dependent on you, then obviously your energy is going to, you're giving out too much energy. So I'm strengthening you to being strong to allowing them to take care of themselves, strengthening you to be strong to connect, disconnect, and allowing your family members to be absolutely strong in their own energetic field. Strengthening you to be strong without the energetic dependency from them, strengthening you to be strong to connecting, detaching, and disallowing any infringements of energy on you. Deleting all hooks, deleting all dependencies, deleting all fears and stress. And some of it comes from worries from other people. So I'm dissolving all the worries that other people have on you, because their worries doesn't help you. Their worries actually weaken you. So I'm strengthening all of you to focus back onto yourself. I'm strengthening all of you to be strong in your own areas, in your own directions, in your own life, in your own body. And I'm strengthening you to be strong in your own body. I'm strengthening you to feeling your own frustrations. I'm strengthening you to also no need to feel your frustrations. I'm strengthening you to connect more with who you are at a spiritual core, and who you are need not be attached to any of the family members or your loved ones. I'm strengthening you to be strong to your own physical body. I'm strengthening you to be strong whether you're near or not near to them. I'm strengthening you when you're near to them. I'm strengthening you also when you take a distance from them. I'm strengthening you also to being strong to allowing them to be wherever they need to be. And I'm strengthening you to be strong to seeing your future. Because sometimes when you don't look at your future enough, you're only seeing your role that is tied to your kids as well as your partner. So what we need you to be strong to is that you can also look at, okay, what are my dreams? What are my hopes? And how do I want to become? What do I want to become? How do I want to feel? And then, you include them in the picture. But right now, you're so tied up, all your energy is tied to taking care of them. And that is actually weakening you, because you're not having enough energy and time to focus on what kind of beautiful future can I create. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to that. I'm strengthening you to the future. I'm strengthening you also to be strong to the now. So I'm strengthening you to let go of whatever frustrations were in the past. Like just now, as you're typing this, that's already in the past. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to going forward and moving forward right now. I'm strengthening you to be okay, to, whatever and however your kids are emoting around you. So I'm strengthening them, strong to be falling sick or not falling sick. So for the older one, there is weakness around falling sick, but as a result of that, then that actually weakens him, right? So we want to be strong whether we're falling sick or not falling sick. And we also want to be strong, however, and not needing to fall sick at all. deleting what it means to fall sick for all of you, deleting any interpretation, misinterpretation, as well as any kind of taking on of that energy, whatever that may mean for all of you. I'm strengthening you to disconnect from all of them, and all of their energies are like coming in front of your own energy as always. I'm strengthening you to be strong to that. You don't need to let them take center stage, and you don't need to let them take priority over yourself. I'm strengthening you to knowing that you are the priority, and then you can take care of them. So you're not used to that, right? But that's okay. So I'm deleting any sense of needing to give way to the male energies in your life. I'm strengthening you to be strong to your own female energies. And I'm strengthening you to be strong to taking on your own masculine authority. And that's related to the pain at your right leg. And that pain is related to your left side of the body being strong, but the right side not being strong, especially your right back. So I'm deleting any imbalance between the left and right back. And I'm also strengthening for no fear of being yourself, calling the shots, taking control, and you giving the commands in your own life. So I'm deleting any fear and projection around your kids falling sick. I'm deleting the word. The word sick itself already gives you that energy of, oh my gosh, not again. Okay, so deleting that. Deleting and all the pain that's related from the past, deleting all the remnant memories, deleting all of that from the synapses in the brain, and strengthening you to be cool and strong to whoever you are and whatever you want to be. So I'm just going to look at your spine a little bit. I'm strengthening all spinal columns, and I'm strengthening evenness between left and right side of your back. I'm strengthening for crossover interventions, whatever this may mean for your system. I'm strengthening for evening out of the skeletal muscular system or musculoskeletal system. Strengthening to changing of terms, changing of energies, crossing over of energies, whatever that may mean for your system. Strengthening you to resting, strengthening you to be strong to resting, and strengthening you to be strong in resting. And strengthening you to be up and about and strong first for yourself, because when you wake up in the morning, the first thing in the past is you're stressed about the kids, right? You need to make sure everything is running well. But I'm strengthening you to changes, strengthening you to the usual way, but strengthening you also to a different set of energies, a different set of behavior, a different set of being when you wake up in the morning, where everything is easy and flowing on its own. And as I talk about that, I'm strengthening the right side of your abdomen as well. I'm deleting any pain on the right side of the abdomen. Okay, feel strong now. I'm going to move on to the next request. Next request, you'd like to strengthen your relationship with your parents, rather relationship with people, especially with your parents. Actually, it's all pretty strong. So, yeah, it feels actually strong. But maybe what I'm picking up is that you want to be able to express yourself more. You want to be able to communicate more with people and to your parents. So I'm strengthening you to be strong for the communication. So when it comes to communicating your thoughts, communicating every day, finding the right words, right occasion, right level of conversation. When I say right, it doesn't mean like, what is ideal or what, but it's something that's personal for yourself. So however you're calibrating that, I'm strengthening you to be strong, to finding your own ways, finding your own balance, finding your own words. So I'm strengthening you to words back at you, conversations with people, and I'm strengthening you to be strong to having the conversations with people as though you're having the conversation with yourself. So whether you're having a conversation with people and having a conversation with yourself, there shouldn't be any difference in the way you communicate. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to that. I'm strengthening you also to the times where you have no words and you're just sharing space with all of them. That is still relating to people. I'm strengthening you to be strong to allowing people to relate with you, even in your silence. And I'm strengthening you to relating to people in silence. And when I talk about relating to people in silence, there's a little bit of ache at the back of your left side of your skull. So I'm deleting any ache on the left side of the skull that's related to being in silence when you're with people. I'm strengthening you to kindness and whatever word that word means for you in kindness. I'm strengthening you to be strong to all variations, all expressions, all giving and all receiving of this word itself. And as I talk about the receiving, there's some pain also on the right side of your abdomen, deleting any pain on the right side of the abdomen with regards to receiving, giving kindness, balancing kindness, balancing fears and frustrations of other people, because you also fear that when you start relating with people, a lot of times you pick up their fear and frustration. And then when that start happening, you're like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have, I shouldn't have began the conversation with them. I shouldn't have began, like this close up encounter and leaning into knowing who they are, what they are concerned about right now, deleting all of those things, strengthening you to be strong to all forms of interaction, strengthening you to be strong to feeling any fears and frustration without taking it on. So they can be in fear and frustration, but you don't have to take it on, okay? You don't have to take it on. You don't need to know what to do with it. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to not knowing what to do with fears and frustrations of people. I'm strengthening you also that when other people have fear and frustration, because a lot of times you're in that position of, okay, not sure what to say to them, right? Because everything is illusional, like there's this big illusion of life. And when you're witnessing their fears and frustration, you want to show empathy, but at the same time, you're in a state of equanimity with their fears and frustration, and it feels like you don't know how to relate to them in those times. So I'm deleting that. I'm strengthening you to be okay to that. I'm strengthening you to seeing that sometimes just being with them, right, and listening to them, that is the way you can show empathy already. You don't need to have to do more. You don't need to have to say more. You don't need to have the words sometimes. You just need to be there supporting them, giving them kindness, and that helps them. So I'm deleting any pain for you when you feel like you're not sure whether your parents know how to relate to you. I'm deleting those thoughts. I'm strengthening you to having those thoughts not every now and then. I'm strengthening you to be okay whether they are able to relate to you or not. And I'm deleting any pain for them when it comes to not sure also whether they are able to relate to you. And that comes from your mom. So I'm strengthening your mother. And I'm strengthening you to be okay with whatever form of expression she has for you, that you're strong to it. I'm deleting any stress and pain for your mom. That's on the slightly to the left side of the back, the top part of the spinal column, deleting any pain for her on the shoulders. I'm strengthening her to open up with her words. I'm deleting any stuck energies there from past lives, deleting all stuck energy from the past from her. I'm deleting all definition of how people define relationship between parents and son, parents and children. I'm strengthening three of you, your parents and you, to be strong, to relating only in the way that is loving, that is between the three of you. So I'm deleting all the terms that come from social media, mass media, social conditioning, cultural norms, deleting all of those that no longer serve your highest good. And I'm strengthening three of you to sharing understanding, sharing bond, and sharing kindness towards each other. So that's the most important thing. I'm deleting all past frustration from supposed letdowns or frustration and disappointment, from expectations, from cultural norms. Strengthening all of us to finding our own path and strengthening all of us to leading our own lives the best that we can without comparing. And I'm strengthening all of us to celebrating more. Again, I think that celebration is really important for all of us. So I'm strengthening for celebrating small wins. I'm strengthening all of us to celebrating the everyday little joys of life. I'm strengthening all of us to look at, hey, where are the things that's going right? Where are the things that's going well between, whatever you're working on, right? If you're working on, I want to feel peace. If you're working on, I want to feel good when I'm with my parents, right? Then you look at that and then you go, okay, what are the good things that's happening? Start to celebrate all the small good things that's happening, and you begin to notice more and more that, okay, it may not look like a certain way, but there are many good points about my relationship with my parents. So I'm strengthening all of us to that. Okay, that feels stronger. I'm going to move on to the next request. Aches, pains, and strains all over, especially the past 9 days. Procrastinating big time, binge watching YouTube, C-dramas instead of sleeping, feeling very sleepy, headache. Did CrossFit 2 Tuesdays ago using eMoms and continued physiotherapist exercise routine. And then you're not doing them. Why? It's so simple, but you're not doing it. How to get a spring in my step and have purpose or goal in life again. Okay, so there's a lot going on, right? So I'm strengthening you to disconnect from the C-drama that you're watching. A lot of times what's happening is when we engage in drama, right? What we are doing is we're investing our energy and our life into the drama that we're watching. We feel alive because we are living through the characters and their storylines and the ups and downs. And that is very addictive, because we are living life through them. So I'm strengthening you to disconnect from the dramas. I'm strengthening you to be strong, to, like when you don't have that rush of entertainment, emotion, and engagement into that life as though you're living it, that you're strong. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to your reality of your own life rather than the drama that is out there as you're perceiving it. I'm strengthening you to be stronger in your body than in your mind. Strengthening you to be strong on a cellular level to engage with your own life, strengthening you to disconnect from external stimulation and whatever is more exciting, strengthening you to, okay, this is happening to me now, and it may not be as exciting as what I'm watching, and I am vicariously living through the dramas, but this is me. And I'm strengthening you to the drama inside your own body. So start paying attention to how you can take good care of your body and look at your own body instead of looking outward into the drama. Strengthening you for kindness towards yourself. Once again, be kind to yourself. Your mind beats yourself up, right? Your mind keeps going towards, oh, I enjoy this, but I enjoy not doing it. But your mind starts beating yourself up for whatever you're enjoying. So I'm deleting all of that. I'm strengthening you to be strong, to delete all judgments. When you want to watch something because you enjoy it, do it. When you want to do something when you enjoy it, do it. When you don't enjoy doing it, don't do it, and you don't need to beat yourself up, okay? If that makes sense. You don't need to beat yourself up for the things that you're not doing. Strengthening every one of us here, deleting all the self-judgment and beating up ourselves for the things that we think we should be doing. There's no should, right? But we continue to have shoulds in our life. Strengthening all of us to finding our own rhythm, finding whatever is most highly rejuvenating and elevating for ourselves at every moment in time. If you've been watching C-drama until 2 a.m., you don't expect yourself to wake up at 7 a.m. fresh, okay? Sleep until 9, okay? Take those hours. Don't beat yourself up and say that, oh, I did that last night. I'm so glad I can sleep until 9 a.m., okay? Right? So do your life in such a way that is honoring for yourself. Stop beating yourself up. Strengthening all of us to stop beating ourselves up, strengthening all of us to understanding, strengthening us ourselves to understanding of our life, our circumstance, our emotional state, our physiological state, and I'm strengthening all of us to making the best decisions in balance of all of these factors. And when you're balancing all these factors, every one of us and our lifestyle is going to look different. So first thing to do, reset yourself so that you're creating the routine schedule, or maybe not routine, not schedule, whatever it is, right? Strengthening all of us to all of that. Routine, no routine, schedule, no schedule, but everything has to be in harmony with yourself, your body. First of all, your body, okay? So I'm strengthening you to that. In harmony with your body, and you're strong to be in harmony with your body. That's the most important thing. When you're in harmony with your body, then you listen to that body, then you work according to your body. Deleting mind, strengthening all of us to delete our mind out of it, strengthening all of us to delete all the judgments, deleting all the thoughts, especially all the inconsequential thoughts that keeps jumping up at us, creeping back up at us, and telling us you've been so something, whatever word, right? You fill in the blank for yourself. I'm deleting all of those thoughts that you have on yourself, strengthening all of us, all of our situations. So whatever thoughts you have, strengthening all of us to having and then not having them. Okay, so deleting all the frills and fluff. I'm strengthening all of us in this group listening and whoever's listening later on. I'm strengthening all of us to let go of the parts of our life and our routine, our scheduled activities, and what we think need to happen so that we have a so-called beautiful, sexy life, whatever you call it, successful life. It doesn't need to look the same as other people. I'm strengthening all of us to go back to the core and the basic of what is most honoring for yourself right now. Strengthening all of us to finding what is most core, what is most loving, what is most serving for you right now, for yourself. And then let go of the other things. Deleting past and future. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to the now. I'm also strengthening all of us to be strong to whatever happened in the past, whatever we hope to happen in the future. And when we think about all these things, we should still be strong in the now. I'm strengthening all of us to solutions, no solutions, decisions, no decisions, and action, no actions. I'm strengthening all of us to the balance of all of these in terms of all our goals and all our desires. I'm strengthening all of us, so I'm deleting all the desires that doesn't serve our highest good. Whether we know it or not, I'm deleting all the desires that doesn't serve our highest good. And I'm strengthening us to understanding, awareness, and assimilation of the energy inside us that will support us to come to a space where I know exactly what to do in this very moment. And I know exactly how to relax in this very moment. And I also have the knowledge to immediately jump on to the next activity, to be in the flow when I know exactly what to do in the coming moment. strengthening all of us to all the in-betweens, strengthening all of us to just being one directional when it comes to, amidst all the things I think I should be doing, the only thing I need to do now is to exist. And in this very existence, in my awareness, in my presence, I know what I shall do next. I get to decide. I'm strengthening you to all the times where your mind continues to work that way. Because when you're here, your mind is a little less busy. And then the minute you get off the call, after a while, it may start to creep back, right? I'm deleting all the times where you think it's going to start creeping back. I'm also deleting all the times in the past where the thoughts continue to creep back. I'm strengthening you to not giving yourself excessive excuse, but I'm also strengthening you to allowing that I need something that I enjoy. And if C-drama is it, let it be it, right? I'm strengthening you to seeing that you have a choice. And if you enjoy it, do it. And then when you find the next thing that you enjoy, do it. When you find the next task that you enjoy, do it. When you want to, we are ready to go out there and say, I'm ready to take responsibility for myself, then you will stop beating yourself up. So I'm strengthening that. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to taking responsibility for ourselves, of ourselves, and I'm deleting any heartache that's related to that. I'm deleting, for all of us who's listening in, any of the heartache that comes from, well, I've never had really the ability to take care of myself because I've never had someone in my life that really take very good care of me. And therefore, I don't know how to do it. So I'm deleting that. Strengthening all of us to continuing to improve and continuing to unravel, to accept who we are, and then to improve upon who we are. So, okay, feels better now. I hope everyone feels better. I'm going to move on to the next request. Okay, so whoever hasn't put in your request yet, please go ahead and type in your request, whether you're working on one challenge or one goal. Just type into, you can type directly to me, and then I will work on your request. I'm going to work on the next one, improve financial stability and in prioritizing your work task. So scale of 1 to 10, 3 out of 10. I'm going to work on prioritizing your work task first. The word task itself actually weakens you because you're good at task, but yet at the same time, because you're constantly working on your task, then you lose sight of your overarching goal and you lose sight of your overall sense of like, you know, when you're so focused on your task, you begin to not see actually what's my overall goal and what am I working towards. So you're someone who's good at your task and then you get lost in the task, then you don't see the whole. And when you don't see the whole, then of course the prioritizing doesn't happen. So I'm strengthening you to that conflict of being so good in the task and losing yourself in the task to hold back from it. So I'm strengthening you to be balanced between the task, the overarching goal, and the people involved. So you're equally strong. When you're equally strong to that combination, then you will be able to see, okay, how shall I prioritize my work? And a little bit of your prioritizing comes from, you know, if someone is closer to you or if someone is really asking you and needing your attention, and then you give priority to those. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to taking a step back and seeing, okay, you know, which one is actually more important. And what is missing in the equation is you're not seeing that you are the one who should benefit from all the prioritizing. So a lot of it is going towards how can I help someone who needs my help? How can I give it to the one that's asking it most from me and who I'm closest to? So I'm strengthening you to knowing all of that. I'm strengthening you to seeing all of that more. And I'm strengthening the openness in your lungs and your shoulder area, your chest area. I'm strengthening for more space internally in those parts of your body so that you can hold yourself back and see the bigger picture. I'm strengthening you to not just seeing the task on hand, but to see the whole room, right? What's happening in the whole room? What's happening in this project, for example? What's happening in the goal? What's happening in my monthly overall goal, And so when you actually take a look at the big picture, then you can come back to your task. Don't get lost in the task. So I'm strengthening you to that opening in your body. I'm strengthening you to being at ease in the room that you're in, all the rooms that you're in, all the bigger environments that you're in, strong to taking in the entire overview and strong to seeing people, strong to seeing tasks, strong to seeing products, strong to seeing services, strong to seeing who's doing what, and strong to seeing who's not doing what, right? And then you can readjust yourself. I'm strengthening you to rapid changes in your perspectives and strengthening you to rapid changes in deciding what serves you or not serves you. So a lot of times in the past, you're so focused on your task that you're serving the task. So when you are serving the task, sometimes you may not be serving yourself. So there must be balance between serving yourself and serving the task. Okay, that feels strong now. So I'm going to look at your financial stability. Okay, so after we have done the task part, now stability comes up to a 5, 4 or 5. Okay, fear is coming up. External fear, friends, family members, constantly being around people who also have their own fear, and then you are, because you're caring for them, and then you are concerned for them, and as they talk to you, sometimes you're picking up their fear, sometimes you are fearing for them and worrying for them, so that weakens you a lot. So I'm strengthening you to disconnect from the fears that you may have when it comes to other people's issues and challenges, deleting any fears that you may have that's coming from your family members. I'm strengthening you to all spaces. I'm strengthening you to all the spaces, whether you're able to control or to help in those spaces or not, that you're strong to it. I'm strengthening you to be strong when you're with your extended family members. So I'm strengthening you to your loved ones. I'm strengthening you to be strong in relation to your mother and your spouse. And I'm strengthening the connection between the three of you to be strong. And I'm strengthening that 3-point connection to be strong to any other external parties as well, or extended family members. I'm strengthening the constellation configuration, and I'm strengthening for the relations between both sides of the family to be strong and supportive. I'm strengthening for whether there is room or no room for other people's involvement, and I'm strengthening for inclusion of other people. I'm strengthening for, okay, if this 3-person unit is strong, do we allow in another person? Do we allow in more people? How does that configuration work? So I'm strengthening for all the external extended relations to find their own balance. And I'm also strengthening for ability to find the right spot in the constellation between all of you. So I'm strengthening for connection with all the loved ones, and I'm strengthening for, the basic structure and then the secondary structure to be strong. And I'm strengthening for whatever voids and gaps for the people that needs to be there in your extended family structure to take the rightful space and to take the rightful spot, whatever that may mean for your family structure, so that everything is supportive energetically. I'm deleting any interference that may not serve your highest good. I'm strengthening for you to actually take that center stage when it comes to protecting and deciding what is important to you for your family, rather than any of your in-laws and whatever their projection or their goals are. It shouldn't energetically weaken you, and you should be able to find your own space even when you're with them. I'm strengthening all of you to find your own space, and I'm strengthening all of you to find your voice, as well as your energy and your own ways of being, and to be strong in that. Yeah, feels better now, feels stronger now. Okay, I think a few of you have not sent in your request. I think there's 3 of you that hasn't sent in your request. If you have a goal or if you have a challenge in your life that you're working on, please type it in to me, and then I will help you to work on it. So those of you who have sent me a thank you messages, you're most welcome. Thank you for your trust. Hope you have felt the shifts as we were doing this. So does anyone else have anything you want to work on? Those of you who just joined in, type in to me one of your goal or challenge that you're working on, and I will strengthen you for that. So as I'm waiting for the 3 persons to see if you want to send in your request, I'm just going to strengthen all of us generally. I'm deleting all fears and frustration energies, remnants that's in our solar plexus. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to all the things that we have not fulfilled yet, all the things that we have not seen as quick a result as we wish to in our lives, that we're strong to that. I'm deleting all lost hopes and dreams. If it doesn't serve our highest good, strengthening all of us to let go of the disappointments. And I'm strengthening all of us to have space in our will center. And I'm strengthening all of us to be strong, to connect in more deeply with our connection with who we are, our connection with our physical body, our connection with our physical wellness, first of all, before we look at whether we are achieving, okay? So I'm strengthening all of us to that. When we are strong to our own wellness, we will naturally achieve, okay? So I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to our own self-care first. I'm strengthening all of us to continuously taking good care of our own well-being, our joy, and our harmony before we look at how can I succeed in life? How can I achieve more, financially? How can I achieve more in terms of recognition? So I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to that. Be strong to who you are. First of all, when you're strong to who you are, then naturally an understanding of who you are, what you can and cannot do, what you're willing or not willing to do becomes clearer. And then you will find your own joy. So I'm strengthening all of us to that, finding our own joy, finding our own center, connection to our solar plexus, connection to our sacral energies, and strengthening also to our core, our roots, and our connection to life itself, connection to Mother Earth, connection to all that is. I'm strengthening all of us to be safe in spaces everywhere, strengthening all of us to our voices, strengthening, first of all, to the voice inside your head. I'm strengthening all of us to the healing that needs to take place for us, the acknowledgement of the areas of life that we need to heal within ourselves, the pockets of pain that is still existing inside the body. I'm strengthening all of us to feeling it and dealing with it. I'm strengthening all of us to not needing to deal with it and not having to do anything about it. So we should be strong equally to all of this. And I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to acknowledging. So whatever you have that's coming up for you, and if you can acknowledge the thoughts, you can acknowledge the pain, even if you do not do anything about it, simply by acknowledging that you have that, you're allowing and accepting will support your healing. Okay, I'm going to work on the next two requests that just came in. You want to have a more harmonious and authentic, truthful relationship with family, close ones, and others, past, present, people, and to yourself. There's still some remnant, judging thoughts, right? Judging thoughts about the self. So I'm deleting that remnant judging thoughts. I'm strengthening to new connections. I'm strengthening your body to new connections. I'm strengthening and deleting all the old cellular imprints. I'm strengthening your physical body to move as fast as possible so that when your physical regeneration takes place, your mind can start changing more. And I'm strengthening your changes to be in tandem with all the universal changes that's happening. I'm strengthening you to giving up the past self, and I'm strengthening you to embracing your new self, strengthening you to kindness, strengthening you to deliverance, and I'm strengthening you also to clear beliefs about who you are. I'm deleting all continuous judgment, whatever that may mean for you. I'm deleting crazy ideas. So you judge yourself for the crazy ideas that you have, right? So even if your ideas are not crazy, but you always have this thought that says, oh, it's a crazy idea. So constantly judge yourself, deleting all the continuous stream in the past about, thinking that that's a crazy idea. Some strengthening for changes. So the crazy idea is not crazy. It's just that it hasn't come to fruition, right? So I'm deleting your vocabulary. I'm strengthening you to seeing that, okay, I have that idea. I have the idea. It has not happened yet, but it's not crazy. It's something I want. And I don't know how it may take shape or form in the future, and I'm going to allow it to come to me. I'm strengthening your perseverance. I'm also strengthening you to, no need to persevere because you can start immediately saying, okay, I'm going in that direction. That's my new direction, and I'm going that way. Because when you are strong to say that's my new direction, I'm going that way, and I'm going to inform my family, then you come into a more authentic sense of who you are. You come into a more authentic expression of who you are to them. Then they will be able to say, oh, okay, she's expressing herself. So a lot of times what's happening to us is we think we want to be in a certain way, but we're not expressing it, right, to our family members. And then we find there's a lot of hurdle because we're not expressing it. But what we want to be strong to is expressing it. Then once you're strong to expressing it, then, it no longer stops you from being your true authentic self. So deleting the thinking, strengthening into the doing and the being. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to doing and being. So you just need to say, you just need to decide, okay, this is how I will behave going forward. I'm strengthening you to new behaviors, new patterns of thoughts, and new reactions. And I'm strengthening you to not having any reaction, not having any thoughts as well. So sometimes when we're in the authentic moment, we're saying what's coming to us, right, with no fear. And then you realize that, hey, there's no reaction from anyone around me, right? And that's good, right? So you're already stepping into that future. You're already stepping into that sense of authenticity of who you are, being truthful. And when that happens, then that should add on to our experience of it's safe for us to be authentic. Nobody's judging us. The one that has been judging us is our own fearful self, stopping us in the past, saying that, oh, it's not okay to do that. It's not okay to do that. But right now it's becoming more and more okay for you to do that. So I'm strengthening you for harmony. Harmony, more harmonious in yourself means less thinking, less thoughts, okay? So I'm strengthening you to that. So you're finding the harmony more and more when you are acknowledging the thoughts. And whenever you have thoughts that judge, that arise, just acknowledge that, oh, okay, I'm having a moment, I'm judging myself, I'm going to let that pass. Strengthening all of us to being faster and faster in doing that. I'm strengthening all of us to connect with our solar plexus, our core, and our root chakra. And then whenever we have those moments, we can connect back stronger with our body and say, okay, that's fine. That's a passing judging thought, and I'm going to just let it pass. It's going to pass, and I'm going to, go past whatever thought that was in that moment earlier. Strengthening for deleting all the emotions from your upper body onwards, upwards, deleting all the energetic imprints around emotions. Strengthening for lifting up of all the energetic imprints, serving it to deleting it, sending all of it down to -0 infinity quantum particle level, and sending all remnants back into space and to infinity. Strengthening you to emotions, no emotions, new emotions, no new emotions, a bigger range of emotions. And, whether you have to deal with these emotions or not, whether you have words to describe these emotions or not, I'm strengthening you to being strong, to knowing the emotions. And I'm also strengthening you to not having any words on the emotions, not having any experiences around emotions. So sometimes when you find yourself in a state of equanimity, you may feel like, oh my gosh, I don't feel anything, right? And that's okay. That's okay. We don't always have to be feeling something. We can be feeling, I'm neutral. I'm very, very neutral. Because from that neutral vantage point, then you can see, okay, what shall I do next? What do I want to experience next in my life? Okay, so that feels stronger now. I'm going to work on the next request. So I believe that may be the last request. So you're keen to continue working on your nourishment, feeling like you're always hungry, nothing feels you, skeletal bodily issues, not gaining weight, cervical bulge, self-punishment. Okay, so we continue to work on that. Okay, I'm going to look at your theme of self-punishment, okay? I'm strengthening you to disconnect from your father. I'm deleting any karmic reservations, whatever that may mean, between you and your father. I'm deleting whatever is coming from him. I'm deleting all projections. I'm strengthening him to forgive and forget unconditionally. I'm strengthening you to the same. I'm deleting all the internal crying that you have. I'm strengthening you to all the psychological patterns that you have growing up about your weight that's related to your father, consciously or unconsciously. Deleting all the emotions, deleting emotions coming from him. Deleting 3 past lives that you have with him, deleting whatever he's feeling, and strengthening you even if you're feeling helpless. Deleting all self-punishment that he has, that you're also experiencing. Delete 300 patterns that's coming from him that no longer serve your highest good. Deleting him demanding, strengthening you to be strong to him demanding, strengthening you to be strong to the opposite. Strengthening both of you to new realities, strengthening both of you to let go of the past in strengthening both of you to no longer needing to live out all the self-punishment, strengthening both of you to surrendering it to the source, strengthening both of you to allowing divine intervention, strengthening to creative solutions and harmonious outcomes. I'm deleting all the years where you have starved yourself of the right nourishment because it's in the myofascial tissues. I'm deleting whatever is in the myofascial tissues that's stopping you from receiving the right nourishment. I'm deleting the drying up of the myofascial tissues in your body. I'm strengthening for the drying up of your throat. I'm deleting any loss of moisture, and I'm strengthening for recuperation. And I'm strengthening for chi regeneration in your abdomen. Okay, feel stronger now. Hi, Glenn. You've just joined us. Do you have a request that you want to work on? A goal or an obstacle? If you do, please type it in. Or you can unmute yourself and then I'll work on it. Okay, so self-punishment and nourishment feels a lot better now. So I'm going to work on the next one, which is in direct opposite. Because you want to gain weight, but this person wants to lose weight. Yay. Okay, I'm glad your right eye stopped throbbing. I'm very glad. Okay, so I'm going to work on the next request, which is to lose weight. You share, okay. So there's something in your external spiritual environment that's stopping you from losing weight. So strengthening you, first of all, to this external spiritual environment and whatever that may mean for you. And in some ways, for a large part of your life, you feel like you needed to hold up space for other people. And because you needed to hold up space for other people, then that extra, like that buffer of protection for all your external group of friends, family, or all your loved ones created that bulk inside you because you feel like you need to be that big presence for them. So I'm strengthening you, whether the physicality does not need to be what is energetically big. So I'm strengthening you that whatever size you are, that you have a large energetic presence for all your loved ones, that it doesn't need to show up in physical size, first of all. So I'm strengthening you for clarity as well, because when you don't have a clarity about how much weight you want to lose, then it's hard for you to lose that weight because you're constantly feeling like, I don't really want to do it. Do I really have to do it? And because you don't have a clarity of, okay, let's say you say, I want to lose a certain amount, all right? Or you want to say that I want to feel a certain way in my body. So I'm strengthening you to first having a clarity about what does it mean for you to lose weight, right? It can look different for everyone. It may be in number of pounds and kg. It can also be in terms of how you feel. It can be in terms of the mass. It can be in terms of, right, your clothing size. It can be in terms of, whether you can fit through something or not. A lot of ways for you to actually measure what is it that you truly want to feel. So I want to strengthen you to the clarity of what you mean by losing the weight. So I'm strengthening you to kindness towards yourself and also towards other people. So sometimes your unkindness towards other people in terms of, oh my gosh, the world is so stupid, these people are so stupid. And then interestingly, you carry that weight of, that bulge around you because you're taking on the heaviness of the stupidity of the world. So deleting that, strengthening you to be strong, to letting go of the stupidity of the world. Right? I mean, that shouldn't, when the world is stupid, you don't need to take on that weight. Don't take on the weight of the world that is stupid. I'm strengthening all of us to whatever weight we hold on to when it comes to the world or our loved ones sometimes, right? We pile on weight, or we do not put on weight because of something that we're holding on to. So I'm strengthening all of us to letting that go. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong, to be our own ideal weight without needing to take on the weight of other people and the world, such that it's either making us pile on or to not be able to put on. So I'm strengthening you to that, right? So even though it's like spot on in terms of that, but it's not fun for yourself when you have to continue piling on because of that weight, right? The weight of how stupid the world is, right? It doesn't serve you as much. Wow, how very interesting. A lot of it is that main point actually is about the stupidity of the world. Okay, so I'm strengthening you. So even if the world is stupid, right, that you're strong to it. And I'm strengthening you, even if people are stupid, you're strong to it. Even if losing weight is stupid, you're strong to it. Even if, whatever conditioning there is around world, around life, around people, around job, around relationships, around kids, around everything that bothers you in your life, that shouldn't stop you from achieving your ideal weight. So again, what does your ideal weight look like to you, feel like to you? What does that mean? Right. So when you have clarity around that, you'll be much better able to manage and decide what's your ideal, or, what happens to your body. Strengthening everyone who's listening in. I'm deleting any stress that you hold around your midsection. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to, the stresses that we feel in life. I'm deleting all the stress about dealing with people. I'm deleting all the indigestion and the inability to assimilate nourishment because of our stress in life. I'm deleting all the stress hormones that's out of balance for everyone. I'm strengthening for balance of the happy hormones. I'm strengthening our spine at the back of between the lower and middle back, the column of the spinal area. I'm deleting all the stress around the area. I'm deleting all the stuck weight and energies of problems that we were not able to solve because of what other people did to us from all time, space, dimension, all lifetimes, all relations. I'm deleting the pain that comes from that. I'm strengthening all of us, even when we don't remember, or remember, whether we know it or not, unconsciously, consciously, subconsciously, superconsciously. I'm strengthening to let go, delete all of those things that no longer serve our highest good. Delete the stress, delete the tension, delete the unforgiveness, delete the sadness, and delete all the remnant energies and emotions, whether we are able to put a name to it or not. I'm strengthening all of us to letting go of it. And I'm strengthening all the people who are involved in all of those circumstances, storylines, and past lives, present life, future lives, to be strong also to letting go. Strengthening all of us to the highest good. I'm strengthening all of us to perfect health. I'm strengthening all of us to perfect weight. I'm also strengthening all of us to feeling wonderful in our circulation, wonderful in our digestion, and also wonderful in our everyday living in the world, our experience of the world, and all our senses. I'm strengthening for deleting all extreme fatigue, and I'm strengthening all the cells in the body, and I'm strengthening all the mitochondria in the body, strengthening all the fissures, whatever that may mean. I'm deleting any pain. I'm deleting any lack of circulation in the body. I'm strengthening for extreme circulation in the body, whatever that may mean. And I'm strengthening for high oxygenation, and I'm strengthening for the right levels of vitamins and minerals and oxygen to all parts of our body right now. And I'm strengthening all of us, all our system, to repair and regenerate the area that we need most so that we can reset and have balance, homeostasis in our body. And I'm strengthening all of us to receive all the nourishment inside in our system right now. I'm strengthening for redistribution of weight, whatever that may mean. And I'm strengthening for redistribution of healthy cells. And I'm deleting all the cells that no longer serve our highest good. I'm strengthening for a healthy microbiome environment in our body. And I'm strengthening for the best level of hormonal balance for all of us that suits all of us individually. And I'm strengthening also for DNA regeneration. I'm strengthening for all the stem cells and telomeres in our body to be highly supportive of us. And I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to having cellular regeneration that is much, much, much younger and more vital than whatever age we are now. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong, to be young in all sense of the word. And I'm strengthening all of us to be vital and fit despite whatever lifestyle or circumstances that we're in right now. I'm deleting the mind out of it. I'm strengthening all of us energetically to the reality of healthy, perfect health and body and state of mind. Still some stress around the stomach for some of us. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to the past. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to now and to the future. I'm strengthening all of us that feels like we need protection and that extra weight around is protection. Okay, so I'm strengthening all of us to whatever we see in other people, whatever we feel in other people, that we're strong to just being ourselves. And I'm strengthening all of us to be strong, first of all, to be fit in the mind and a decision on the soul level to be healthy and vital and to actually achieve a body and achieve a level of fitness that's actually for our highest good. Okay, and that feels strong right now. There's a lot more ease, so we can continue to work on it in future. I'm going to look at the next request. Okay, this is the last request of the night. Okay, thanks for staying with me. I'm just going to overrun a little bit. Not sure what's the main thing you want to work on. You need strengthening. You can't do it alone. So your thoughts will, when you close your eyes and then you're in your mind, sometimes you don't have thoughts, but you continue to talk negative. Okay, so I just want to like share with everyone that when I'm just sharing my personal experience right now when I do my inner work and my healing for the past 11 years. Okay, when you first start to shift from becoming non-judgmental towards yourself and more loving towards yourself, you go through a time of confusion, and you go through that sense of, because you feel like when I'm not critical towards myself, I actually have nothing to say about myself. Okay. So what you need to recognize is that you probably grew up in an environment of blame and shame. It can be coming from your parents, it can be coming from an extended family, it can be coming from, the larger extended community that you live in or your school or wherever it is, right? And then you internalize the blaming and shaming. So very soon, very often, what happens as we're growing up, if we have that kind of environment, we start to go into that sense of we are super critical towards other people and we are also super critical towards ourselves. So the negative in the voice in the mind will always come up. And then when you are in that state of negativity, right? And then you start to learn to slow down and you no longer talk negatively about yourself, you realize that then there's nothing. And then if there's nothing, you start to worry. But there's nothing to worry because not having any negativity is much better than having negativity. Not having anything to say is better than having negative things to say about yourself. But what you need to come to realize is that you do not know what to say to yourself once you stop saying the negative. That's because you have not practiced having thoughts that honor and celebrate yourself. Okay, so in these moments, what we need to do is we need to highly celebrate ourselves. Okay, what you may want to read up is read up on self-love. I think the last time I'm not sure if I mentioned to this group, I think some time ago, I did talk about it, maybe, I remember. Please look up this book called Life Loves You. It is by, sorry, I think I need to change my recipient. Life Loves You, okay? It is actually written by Robert Holden and Louise Hay. Okay, they are the most wonderful self-love teachers out there who have taught me a lot through reading their books. You need to start to celebrate yourself more, okay? You need to, when you find that I've got nothing to say, start praising yourself, right? Like, I am well, all is well. Right? In the moment where you actually have nothing negative going on, start to recognize that all is well in this moment. Right? All is well right now. I mean, there are so many things that we can start building on the positive. So what you need to start to learn is to build on the positive. I am doing very well. Okay. Like even writing on everyone else's things tonight. I'm doing very well. All is well at this moment in time. I'm working on myself, and that is amazing. I am recognizing the parts of myself that I want to change, and that is wonderful. I'm in a community of people who are supporting me. How nice it is. I am actually, in a protected space. I am safe right now. Isn't that beautiful? Right? Then I am actually in a state of blank right now. Wow. Right? Why can't we celebrate being in that state of no thoughts? Why can't we celebrate being in a state of I've got nothing negative to say, I've got nothing positive to say. I'm just in that pleasant, peaceful state of being. Right? When we are actually in a state of nothing to say, it's not always negative because nothing to say is better than negative. So we need to recognize that nothing to better say is actually better than negative. And then sometimes we also need to come to realize that actually I'm in this space of like neutrality. And could it also be better than positive? Right? Could it be? Right? You start by questioning yourself first. Could it be that it's actually positive? And it is possible that it's positive. Why? Because sometimes when we are overly positive and then, wow, we get ourselves so hyped up, right? And then the next minute, what happens? Sometimes you continue to be in the high state. Sometimes you crash, right? And sometimes you are in that state of positive. And then, as you're working towards your goal, and then suddenly it doesn't happen. And then you crash. I'm not saying that it's not good to be positive, right? But I'm saying is that sometimes when we're in positive, it can also quickly drop down to negative. So what we need to recognize is that we can celebrate all states. We can celebrate when we're in that negativity. I'm recognizing there's negativity in my life. I'm recognizing there's something I do not want in my life, right? That's the positive in the negative. And then I'm recognizing that I'm very positive and I don't know if I'm going to get it. I have a bit of excitement and stress and worry, everything happening all at the same time. And then I'm in that state of neutrality. I got nothing to say. And that's fine. Because in that nothing to say state, you are in a state of awareness. You're actually existing in a state of awareness and you're just in awareness. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. You're in a state of, I'm just witnessing. So you can celebrate that state of witnessing. Then when you celebrate that state of witnessing, you will start to realize that, oh, I'm just in a state of witnessing, and this state of witnessing can be prolonged. Because in that state of witnessing, you're realizing that you don't need anything, you don't need to be negative or positive to experience that high up and down of life, and you're still living. And you don't have to go into like very excitable or very low dramatic grief, and you are able to see and take in more of whatever is happening. And you're able to when you're in that state of nothing, right? Sometimes, right, that neutrality in that moment, what you realize is that if you can stay in that state long enough, you realize that you have a lot of moments to decide what you want to do next. You have a lot of moments to say that, oh wow, I'm experiencing, I don't have to do anything to exist. And because of that, right, you can actually experience an expansion of space if you're not letting yourself go into like judging, like, why am I not thinking anything? Why am I not feeling anything? Okay, so in those moments you can celebrate and say that, okay, I am in a state of, yeah, I'm in a state of observing right now, and you can celebrate that state of observing. You can celebrate that state of awareness, because in that state of awareness, time prolongs for you to decide and to watch and to say that, hey, what shall I do next? And then you start to, it's like people take time actually to meditate until they get into that state. Okay? So don't be too worried when it comes to those state of like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't feel anything. It's fine. What you don't understand is that, okay, well, how do I navigate my life, right? It's a chance to navigate your life. It's a chance to say, what do I want to choose next? What do I want to do next? Okay, and then when it comes to any other activity that you choose to do because you're in the state of, I don't know what to do next. Again, don't judge yourself. Okay, don't judge yourself. Just recognize for yourself, I'm doing that. If you're watching drama, you recognize that you're doing that. And then you ask yourself, what am I seeing from the drama that's making me so fulfilled here? How can I find that more in my own life? If you find yourself eating, right, then you can also say, why am I eating? What's the joy I'm finding here? Or is there a certain boredom that you're finding? Or is there a certain sense of, I'm looking for a new taste, or I'm looking for something yummy to nourish me? Then you need to ask yourself, are you finding it? If you're not finding it in your actual life, how can I find that more in my actual life? Okay, so I'm deleting all fear. I'm deleting all frustration. I'm deleting numbing. I'm deleting self-dramatization. I'm strengthening everyone here. So this is not meant to be like, it's not judging, okay? So sometimes, again, when we go through trying to find ourselves and going through that inner work and awakening to who we really are, we also go through the times where we feel like a lot of things are dramatized because we are trying to experience ourselves. Okay, I'm deleting being ignored when you're young. I'm deleting not feeling okay to exist. I'm deleting being overlooked by other people. I'm strengthening you to all the experiences of all of these. And I'm strengthening you to forgiveness. And I'm strengthening you to seeing who you are now without needing to dramatize your own existence in any ways. I'm deleting self-judgment. I'm deleting self-hate. I'm also deleting doubts about who you are, what the world is, whether anyone loves you, cares about you. I'm deleting all fear from all timelines for you. I'm deleting frustration on a spiritual level, not finding who you are on a spiritual level, strengthening you to finding yourself on a spiritual level. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to yeah, so I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here. If you want to, you can reach out for a private session. But if not, right, then you gotta start finding your spiritual self, okay? Because you are looking for something. You're not finding what you want. And you're also not finding enough self-love. I highly recommend that you start working more on loving yourself. And then I highly recommend also that you have a one-to-one. It doesn't need to be me, it can be anyone else. Okay. I feel that you really need to get out of yourself in terms of showing up for yourself, not fearing judgment. There's a lot of fear of judgment. But yet at the same time, there's also a lot of like, I want to be seen, but I don't want to be seen. Okay, so please look for someone that you can trust to really talk through and work through with you. Okay. Yeah. So if it's not supporting you, please look for someone that can support you. And you need to be open and ready to face yourself. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to stop here for tonight. Yeah. So strengthening everybody to showing up for yourself so that you can show up in the world. Okay. There's no judgment, right? The more we're open about our challenges, the more we're open about who we are. And you're not hiding, then you can help yourself when you're not hiding. Okay, there's no need to. And if you don't feel that this supports you, please do something about it. Please look for other avenues, right? So the takeaway is, if something is not supporting you, stop doing it. Why are you doing something that's not supporting you and thinking that, it's going to help you, right? So if it doesn't support you, look for other ways. Look for other avenues. Look for other tools. Yeah. So something for all of us to think about is something that you're doing is not supporting you, right? And then why do you keep doing it? Why do you keep doing it? So unless you can see that, hey, there's something here that's helping me, right? There's something that I'm doing that I know is not supporting me, but it's helping me. Then when you recognize that thing that's helping you, you understand why that's helping you, then you would have had a small breakthrough about understanding who you are and what you're going through. Okay, but you need to be honest with yourself. If I'm eating that because it makes me feel a certain way, then admit that that's helping you to feel a certain way. Then when you feel that certain way and you know that that's making you feel better about yourself, then you realize that I'm doing that because that helps me feel better about myself. I'm eating because it makes me feel better about myself. I'm attending this because it makes me feel like I'm better, like I feel better about myself. But then you feel like, hey, it's only in that moment, right? Then after that, it doesn't work. Then please do something about it. Because the larger thing that you're seeking, you're not fulfilling just by doing, eating, by watching drama, by attending sessions like that, right? Then look at how can I help myself? What is it that I'm missing in my life that I'm not doing? And then go do it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for tonight. I hope that I can continue to do this in July as well. I'll let you know there probably will be a new link. All right, so I will please either message me or I will post it up in my Facebook group, Facebook page. And then if there's any question, feel free to reach out. I may be a little bit more busy in recent weeks. Okay, but happy to support. Okay, that's all for tonight. Take care.
Thank you so much, Sarah.
Drink water before you sleep. Good night.
Night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Sleep well.